I find myself wandering the land in search for a promised land, looking for that stack of sound, looking for that stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting the sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees. A magical sound, moments caught in time. Travel in a land of mystery, walking in the footsteps of history, walking in the land of the ancient ones, ancient ones. The ancient ones of magical moments. Step back, walk the land. It's the journey that matters. Take the step, take the chance, roll the dice. I find myself in the land in the search of. I find myself wandering the land in the search, looking for promised land, looking for the stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting the sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees. A magical sound, moments caught in time. Travel in a land of mystery, walking in the footsteps of history, walking in the land of the ancient ones. The ancient ones and magical moments. Step back, walk the land. It's the journey that matters. Take the step, take the chance, and roll the dice. I find myself wandering the land in search, looking for promised land, looking for the stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees. A magical sound, moments caught in time. Hello. One more.
Hail.
Both new. Dark winter, no more. Calling on the gods of old. Stand in the white light, all in the night. Ready to ride, I hear the sound. Call to ride forth. Bring the wind, bring the light. Call the wind, call in the wind. Feel the wind, wandering around the world. Round the world, dark of day, night like today. Shine on the land in the trees, if you please. Four corners where the wind dwell, in the dark of day, night to day. Cast on the wind, let the sun shine. Feel the wind, hear who's calling. The wind finder. Call the elemental, bring the green of the earth. Dark winter, no more. Calling of the gods of old. Dark winter, no more. In the white light. Call in the night, be ready to ride. I hear the sound. Call to ride, come forth. Bring the wind, bring the light. Call the wind, call in the wind. Feel the wind wandering around the world. Dark of day, night to day. Shine on the wind in the trees, if you please. Four corners where the wind dwells, dark of day. Night to day, cast on the wind, let the sun shine. Feel the wind, do you hear who is calling? The windfinder, call the elemental, bring the green of the earth. Dark winter, no more. Dark winter, no more. Calling on the gods of old. Stand in the white light. Stand in the white light. Call the night. Ready to ride. The horn's been sounded. Come forward, bring the wind, bring the light. Dark winter, no more.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Some new particle effects in their video. Ravens flying. I was on the one site and I found the avatar of the eagle, and I actually need to go out and hike some trails, and I need to get some photographs because a lot of times I'll use real photographs in my slideshows. But some of those were particles that already had some really cool images in them, and so I went with those. And the one with the eagle, I put a different background in there that kind of looked pretty cool. It's a photograph of the Pacific Northwest from around here. Beautiful vistas. I have pictures of the Capitol Mountains, Capitol Hills, and all that stuff. And there's a couple different mountain chains over here that's visible during certain times of the day. If it's cloud free, that's a rarity during the wintertime in Washington State. But when it is, you can get a good view of the Olympic mountains. Pretty stuff.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I had to take a trip over where basically across the Narrows, basically, and you go on that side, and there's a whole bunch of beautiful places over there on that side and you can see the mountains from that side. And I got some photographs somewhere. I got to find them. But yeah, beautiful area. Definitely a good day trip. They see the sights, the mountains surrounding the area, and all that stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, sounds like it. I haven't gotten out of the house at all today.
Yeah, this I'm telling you, this song here was not an easy song. It was easy to make and all that stuff, but it was it took a couple days because I had a couple different versions, and I guess you could say I had a couple test screenings of it to get some feedback, and this is ultimately what I came up with.
Yeah, I liked all the versions of the song that I heard, but this one's got a really good groove to it. I feel like you really are channeling something with it.
Yeah, and basically it's positive on top of positive. Yeah,
definitely.
Well, it sounds like Wookiee could use a little positive because he apparently stubbed his vagina on the coffee table.
Darn it, Wookiee.
Ow. Is that code for your big toe or something?
That sounds extremely painful.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it might not have been his fault. He might have had like the quarter lips, and it's easy to stub it then.
Hey man, you're getting your Trenton accent back.
Maybe his toe self-identifies as a vagina.
Did you notice that in one of the songs I used the word use? Man, I lived in Rhode Island for 3 months and it ruined me forever. Get me going about something, I'll start talking like that same way I used to talk in the East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they definitely
catchy.
have distinctive dialogues from out there. Like my grandma, she was from Pittsburgh, and she used to always say "yins,
Ewans,
yins."
Yins, get over here.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
No, one of my favorites that I apparently relearned from being up here already is what the fuck are you looking at?
You see, I have these bullhorns in my eyeballs, and when someone looks at me, I just look at them and they look away for some reason. Yeah. So yeah, the beard's nice and fluffy.
Probably keeps you warm, huh?
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you're still not as fluffy as me. So
Last I checked, you didn't have any facial hair.
what are you talking about? Look at me. I'm covered in fur.
Yeah.
I stepped into that. Yeah. I stepped on a guinea pig landmine, eh?
Hey, man. We leave them all over the place. It's Easter. Because we're leaving little jelly beans everywhere.
Don't know that I would want to eat those jelly beans.
Yeah, I think my grandpa called those smart pills. Because if you eat one of those, you'll get smarter. Because you realize you've been eating guinea pig droppings or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't wait to get home. I think I'm going to expand the collective.
Yep,
Really?
collective's got to grow. Many toes to nibble. So many toes, not enough guinea pigs.
Exactly.
Yep.
Need hordes of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, the guinea pig Air Force has flown south for the winter, so I don't know when they come back.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing because we're all down south. No, except for me.
Well, I'm a bit north. The sun here is always compared to being down there. It sets differently up here than down there. Kind of interesting. I like it.
Yeah. I enjoyed the time that I spent up there.
Shit, during the summertime, man. Sometimes at 10 o'clock at night, it's still light out.
Yeah, it's because you're further north. Supposedly, you have shorter winters and longer summers than we have down here in Northern California.
Yeah. And we have subtropical weather here, and lots of rain. And if a big enough system pushes in, we can get snow. It doesn't happen very often, though.
Gosh,
we're kind of creviced between the mountains to the west and the Olympics. Then we got the Capitol Forest and the hills out there that helps channel weather. Big valley.
But that only happens once every 4 years, right?
Snow?
No,
Sometime.
being caught between the Olympics.
We have a thing called the Olympic mountain chain, and we're between the mountains in the west of us here and the Olympics, kind of nestled. Plus, we got the Puget Sound that comes down into the state and creates a little weather system, I guess you could say. Now, there's Western Washington. They get their share of snow.
We've been having freezing. Oh, we've been having freezing weather here right now. I don't know. The last time I think it snowed in Sacramento, I think I was a teenager. That was really weird. It only lasted just for a little bit in the morning, and then it melted pretty quickly.
It was 37 degrees last night and this morning.
Yeah, I think it is. Let me
But it wasn't.
see.
I don't think it was raining. It was clear. Normally, when it's raining, it hovers between 40 and 50.
Yeah, it's 39.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
it's
36
yeah.
here.
Thick enough cloud cover, man. It'll get about 60 degrees around here. Misting and rain, stuff like that. Holds the heat in. So I hear that you found some things, Tommy.
Always finding things. You know what? One of the interesting things I found, and you know, God bless that hoarder for some of the stuff that he kept. But you remember the old candy cigarettes? And I'm not talking about the plain Jane, no frills, like no name on it. I'm talking about the ones that actually came from legitimate companies like Pall Mall, Marlboro, Winston.
Oh, really?
I found a few of those packs sealed. He still had them. I'm like, holy shit.
Wow. Do those things go bad?
I don't think so. They're like pure sugar. I mean, I don't think they go bad. Not that I'm planning on opening them up and eating them, but
Yeah, right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But,
my brother-in-law, he picked up a pack of candy cigarettes and gave them to me. I'm like, you realize I'm not going to give these to my kids. I'm just not going to do that.
you know, another thing I just found today, a whole horde, and I forgot I even had them, but I found a whole horde of the continuing adventures of Indiana Jones in the comics.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't even remember I had them. There they were, whole big box filled with them.
Ooh. Dollar signs on that.
Yeah, some of the stuff I'm finding, I mean, holy crud. I mean, you know, my Shogun Godzilla, 10-inch tall, Incredible Hulk figure, like all kinds of stuff. Neat stuff. Found my Battlestar Galactica figures. They were pretty cool to find.
I'm part of Indiana Jones.
So what's happening with the new Indiana Jones? Is that thing happening or is it not happening?
I don't know, man. I think everything is up in the air with the pink elephant.
True. Yeah, I mean Harrison Ford was already kind of pushing it with the last one, and he hasn't gotten any younger. I'm not saying that he, it wouldn't be interesting to see a story with him, but I have to suspend some disbelief.
Right.
I mean,
I'll tell you what. When you talk about that last one, the Crystal Skull,
Yeah.
and I know there's a lot of hate for that one, and while the storyline was a bit lacking, because it was just a bit over the top. I mean, you can't get away from that. But I felt like the overall theme of it being an Indiana Jones movie was actually still there, and I didn't mind it quite as much for that aspect.
I thought I thought the acting was fine. Honestly, and I don't know why people have a problem with Nuke the Fridge. I didn't have a problem with Nuke the Fridge. I was like, hey man, you're jumping out of a plane and you're using an inflatable boat to break your fall. If I could buy that or at least be able to enjoy the ride, I could enjoy Nuke the Fridge. I didn't have a problem with it.
Well, just like in the Temple of Doom with that freaking mine car. There's no way a mine car is going to do the kind of things that it did in those movies. So, in that movie in particular, it's not going to happen. That thing, if there would have been a break in the track, that thing would have dropped like a rock.
Yep. So, yeah, I didn't mind. The thing about the Crystal Skull is that the first part of the movie, like the first quarter or third of the movie, I really enjoyed. But once they got to South America, for whatever reason, it felt like a totally different movie. It didn't feel connected. And the sets just, I just didn't buy it. I mean, you can tell the CGI, they just went way overboard on the CGI. And when they didn't use it, you could tell it was filmed on a set. And it just, I don't know. And I mean, if they would have gone full B movie Aliens, I would have bought it more. I didn't think they went far enough into that.
Yeah, the admin, I'm going to put this in the private chat. The admin of this site would probably be interested in those comic books. He's also got a YouTube channel, but I can't find it right now at the moment. I'll find it a little later.
This content is not available right now.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find all my figures. I think
it's a private group. You got to join it on Facebook.
I think I've only come across maybe 2 of my old Indiana Jones figures, but I had a bunch of them too. I haven't found them yet, so still digging.
Yeah, a lot of people in our community is in Raiders of the Lost Flicks fan group.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you have to join. That's why.
Yeah, you got to join.
R says Harrison's too old. It's like Arnold trying to play a Terminator. Just have to accept Father Time and move on.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think because he really wasn't overboard with the stunts when he was in The Last Crusade either. So nowhere near as much as the first 2 movies. It was definitely toned down by then. So
sure.
I think it's possible they could do something with him, but it's just all a matter if they're actually going to have a decent enough story behind it. I mean, that's always going to be the problem with a lot of these newer movies that are coming out. I mean, are they going to have a decent enough story?
Not with KK around.
Hey, Tina, what's the temp in Chicago?
Lower 50s. Wow, it seems a little warm for Chicago.
Well, I basically grew up in northwestern Indiana, and the similar climate from Gary to Chicago, and because Chicago is only 20 minutes away from Gary on the tollway, and so there could be unusual weather. I've experienced some really warm winters, but I've also experienced some very, very cold winter and blizzards.
They're not cold at that point, Bear. They're frigid.
Let's see.
Yeah, here we
it was March. I want to say March of blizzard of March. I think it was 97.
Yeah, I think 97 was an El Nino year.
And it was a freaking blizzard. And guess what Indiana did? They thought winter was over and sold all their salt to somebody else. I think it was Chicago. They had no salt. No salt anywhere in Indiana.
What?
Yes, none.
That's crazy.
And it was the biggest freaking blizzard that hit the area in a long time. Everybody thought.
I think it should be renamed. I don't think it should be El Nino.
And hey, guess what? Guess what? Me and my friends did. We drove in that freaking blizzard on Route 6 all the way to Chicago to go to Martyrs to see Dark Star Orchestra play.
Well, that's pretty brave.
That brave, dedicated. Yeah. Nothing was stopping us. We grew up in that weather, we were ready.
Holy crap, man! I got caught in a surprise snowstorm up here when I was driving up into the hills, and I went to go stop, and I'm like, it's not stopping. And I went to turn, and I was like, it's not turning. And thankfully, I caught a piece of asphalt where I got grip, but I was like, I could see how people might crash in this stuff. But yeah. Who would you guys recast as Indiana Jones? If you had to recast him.
Oh, gee.
I think probably Leo DiCaprio would probably be a good choice.
Don't know the couple names out there. Keep going, then I'll point out one that makes sense.
Well, just because he looked like the young Indiana Jones that River Phoenix played, so I think that might work. Let me see who else could be a believable Indiana
Hugh Jackman.
Jones. Hugh Jackman's too old. Let's see. I don't know.
How would Hugh Jackman be too old?
Well, he's like in his mid-50s.
You don't look it.
Hugh Jackman. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Let's see. Indiana Jones. Who would I recast for that? Chris Pratt, maybe? Chris Pratt might be able to pull off Indiana Jones. Scott Eastwood, says Rowan Ginger Raven. Yeah, actually, I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that too. I just watched a movie that he was in. It was a pretty good movie. I'm trying to remember what the hell the name of that movie was.
Mikhail Wolf says Chris Pine. Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe. That's a possibility.
Yeah. Liam Neeson, says Parrot Head. I think Liam Neeson is probably too old too. Pratt, yeah, I think Chris Pratt probably. I think he could pull it off. Yeah, Eastwood too. Scott Eastwood. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of a serious face needed for the character, I think, and I don't really think Chris Pratt has the serious face because of everything that I've seen him do so far. I would just want to laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
Because he's been in funny movies and he's pretty funny, and if they used him, they'd probably want to throw some humor into it somewhere.
Well, Indiana Jones has humor, but it's usually pretty situational. It's not
It's
character.
very, very dry kind of humor,
Yeah.
with a little bit of irony.
Yep.
Boulder chasing you down a tunnel.
Yeah. Snakes.
Yeah. Scared of rats, stuff like that.
They could make a Regarding Henry sequel. Maybe Harrison Ford might be good for that. See, that movie is not at all what it was sold as. Regarding Henry, and I didn't even see it until a few years ago. So that's the one where he's a lawyer and he's a complete dick, and nobody likes him. And he gets shot in a convenience store robbery, and blood doesn't get. He ends up with brain damage, and so the movie portrays it as just a personality change, or the trailers portray it as a personality change, but the movie he's actually he's a traumatic brain injury sufferer, so it's actually kind of a downer.
Right.
And yeah, that's the first film he worked with J.J. Abrams on, and I think J.J. Abrams wrote that.
You know what? You make a pretty good point, RR. He did. He really did. There were some serious moments in Galaxy, in both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he can pull it off. I could see him in a fedora, going around, going on adventures.
You know what franchise I'm actually surprised they haven't tried to revive again is the Mummy.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, they kind of tried with
our buddy Kurtzman,
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
They made one with Tom Cruise, and I liked it, but I something was missing from that, I think. Plus they were connecting it with Monarch, and they were connecting it with basically Monarch that's featured in Skull Island and the 2014 Godzilla movie.
They seem to, they're trying to make the Dark Universe or whatever. Didn't
Right.
work. Well, speaking of Alex Kurtzman, you and I and Drew were able to watch Star Trek Discovery the other day.
Yeah.
Wait, was that Drew?
Yeah. It
Oh,
was Drew.
okay.
Me, you, and Drew.
Yeah. So I don't know if you have been able to catch it, Tommy, but
I wouldn't waste my time.
yeah, you shouldn't waste your time. But man, that was so dumb.
I mean, quite honestly, it's like everything else. I just don't even want no parts of it. I mean, there's so many things. Like I hear people talking about that Mandalorian show all the time, and I want no part of it, no part whatsoever. I've had my fill with Disney, and I want no part of anything that they're doing. Nothing. I don't care if they do it all right. I still don't want no part of it. I'm done with them.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Yeah, a lot of people are. Well, the last episode of not this one, the one with Ahsoka, but the last one tied it into, I believe, the sequel trilogy. So, you know, I think a lot of people are going to dip just because of that.
It was only a matter of time.
I'd have to agree with that. It was kind of painful.
Yeah, but it was painfully stupid. It's, I mean, okay, first of all, Michael Burnham, she always talks like this all the time. It's really annoying. It's so she's like this really breathy delivery. Well, and then, well, I mean, it opens with her boning her boyfriend. It's like, I don't care about your love life, lady.
Well, you know what? I didn't never understood what was the big to do about her anyway. Because I mean, you talk about when you seen her in that
Hey,
Walking
Rowan, how you
Dead
doing?
series. Her portrayal of that character in the Walking Dead series was so freaking dry and so boring. She was like the least.
Oh yeah, yep.
Least interesting character I think on the show. I think the girl that was running the store in the Alexandria town, the one that got popped in the head with the arrow, I think she was more interesting, quite honestly.
Yeah, I didn't mind her in The Walking Dead, but they weren't trying to sell her as the bestest ever like they are in Star Trek Discovery. So
She just comes across as boring. I don't know. Just
the basically that under the breath talking, I find it annoying.
well, usually that
I found
somebody...
it annoying in The Walking Dead when she did it in that.
Well, usually that's attributed to somebody who wound up having a prophylactic stuck in their throat. So it's probably how she landed the job.
yeah, there's so much wrong with that episode. Like her mom, okay, her mom showed up, and I'm like, okay, that's not her mom. Like became one of the Reverend Mothers or whatever. I call them the Reverend Mothers because why not? They're ripping everything else off. And so their tenet of their faith is that they have to have absolute candor, which means they can't tell a lie. And so I was thinking, well, why would her mom go off to become a Reverend Mother? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. And so I was thinking, it has to be a deception. They're using some sort of cloaking technology or whatever to make one or psychic abilities to make it appear to be her mother. Nope, it was actually her mother. Her mother just, went through a time portal with a Red Angel suit, got off course, and fucking decided to become a Reverend Mother, I guess. A Romulan Reverend Mother. Like, what?
Makes absolutely no sense.
The first two Mummies with Brandon Fraser were pretty good. And even the one that they kind of did with The Rock was just like, it was all right. I mean, it wasn't great. But then after that, they tried to do spin-offs off that, the whole Scorpion King, and it just started going downhill. It was like bad.
Well, the one with Jet Li, that's the third one, right?
The third one I thought was the Scorpion King.
No. I thought that was after. I have the trilogy. Because the Scorpion King was considered, it was connected. Yeah, I thought part 2 had the Rock in it. They showed the Scorpion King in part 2, I thought, or was that part 1? It's been so long since I did a rewatch on those.
Gosh,
All
I don't
right,
think I've seen them since.
The Mummy came out in 1999. The Mummy Returns was 2001. Oh, God damn it. The thing just shut down on me.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen those since they came out. It's been a really long time.
God damn, why did that shut down on me? That was weird.
Something shut down on you?
Yeah, I had a page open where I was going right through the movie list, and it just shut down for no reason. That was weird. Let me see if I can bring it back up.
Who got injured?
Okay, The Mummy was in 1999. The Mummy Returns was 2001. The Scorpion King was the third movie, and that came out in 2002. 2008 was The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which is the one I think you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's the one. My boys actually like that movie.
Then after that was The Scorpion King, Rise of a Warrior, Scorpion King 3, Battle for Redemption, Scorpion King 4, Quest for Power, Scorpion King, Book of Souls. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Are too.
So I'm posting a link in the chat for our folks out there. Our friend John Talks has a new channel. I'd recommend giving it a sub. YouTube being what YouTube is being lately, have to be diligent about these things. And apparently he's run afoul of the powers that be.
Yeah. Give that channel a sub. So, how bad was Brandon Fraser's injury in part 3? I didn't even know he had an injury.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Is that why he gained all that weight afterwards?
Might have been on pain pills and stuff. Because really, he hasn't really made any movies since then, has he?
No, he's just been in small roles here and there in TV shows after that. Let's see.
Yeah, your back goes, yeah. It's easy to gain weight.
Wow, that's messed up. Back injuries are bad. I've had a couple.
Yeah, I had one in high school that was pretty rough. Thankfully, I was able to bounce back. I was working my pizza place job, and I was running back and forth, and I slipped on some soapy water and landed pretty close to tailbone.
Well, Wes, you know what? You probably shouldn't have bent over for the soap in the shower. You wouldn't have slipped on that soapy water.
There's a soap in the kitchen, man. Come on. Come on, man.
I shipped down the soapy sponge and I fell in the kitchen.
That's it, Wes. I know what you're getting for Christmas. Soap on a rope so you don't have that problem again.
Okay. I'll wear it with pride.
Just don't wear it around your neck.
The Wes Moody Webcast soap on a rope.
Hey, there you go. I just came up with I was going to do the Wes Moody Webcast catheter, but now I've been convinced to go the soap on a rope.
Oh, well, you know what? Steven still has that market pretty much clinched off.
Darn.
Hey, have you guys ever watched the Zoolander movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to watch it, and then after watching it, review current events, and you're going to be like, holy shit, what the hell just happened here? Serious.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna watch it after the live stream.
I saw the sequel too.
Yeah, there is.
It was surprisingly good, although you could tell the sequel was written a lot closer to the release of the original film
Right.
than it was to when it was released in theaters.
No, I'm still waiting to hear about the next Transformers chapter, because everything I'm seeing from the toy line, yeah, it looks like they're really going to take it in an interesting place.
Yeah,
So, I know what the third series is going to be called now.
Oh,
The third series is going to be Kingdom, and they're going to wind up doing a tie-in. Like I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it. If they're doing it like a different universes meet or something like that. But they're going to have like the traditional Transformers, but they're going to mix in like some of the characters you've seen from the movie, like Galvatron, Cyclonus, and all those type people. And then they're also going to have the Beast Wars Transformers in it as well.
Oh, really?
Not really sure exactly how they're going to tie that all in, but they were doing something like that in the comics the last time I was still reading them. I just didn't have a chance to pick up those books, but yeah, like it's going to be really interesting. I mean, there's going to be hints to the old cartoon again, what they're going to have the Quintessons in there. Of course, Unicron is going to be part of it in some fashion. It looks to be very interesting. They're going to actually introduce a third faction, I think, in Earthrise too. The Mercenaries. Yeah, the Mercenaries. They kind of hinted it on the first chapter when they had the Sound Blaster guy who was dealing in Energon on Cybertron.
In the original cartoon, right?
No, in this one that they had on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't got through all of it yet. I've been. Have you guys watched The Magicians?
No.
It's on Netflix, and it's kind of good.
darn. See, I've canceled my Netflix after the movie that shall not be named dropped.
Right.
And, I can find a lot of what I need to see other ways, but it is kind of annoying because their servers go down frequently.
Yeah, or that is a good question, huh? Unfortunately, they're not going to be really. It doesn't seem like they're going to be going back to named actors because of everything that's going on with our current situation in the world. Even a company like that, they're feeling the pinch too. So they went with pretty much like unknown actors for the first chapter of Transformers, and it's probably going to continue. Now, whether or not they're actually going to get somebody with a nice deep voice to play Unicron is yet to be seen. Because the one pet peeve that I do have from that first chapter is there's only really one, is the guy that they had voice Ironhide. It agitated me. He sounded like a little kid.
Yeah. See, if they could get somebody like James Earl Jones to voice Unicron, that would be awesome.
That would be decent. Hell yeah.
Who else got a really deep voice like that?
Voice.
Yeah, who does?
God, you know who would have been perfect for it? Of course, he died years ago. Freaking lead singer from Typo Negative, Pete Steele. Jesus, that guy had a deep voice.
Danzig. Danzig could do it.
Glenn Danzig?
Yep, he could do it.
What about Henry
Danzig
Rollins?
could do Unicron.
What about Henry Rollins?
What do you play?
Maybe
he did one of the cops in Airheads.
Yeah, it'd be tough to replace Orson Welles. That was very distinctive.
Yeah, I think if you're talking about James Earl Jones, though, yeah, he would probably be the best choice. But once again, he's a named actor, and I'm pretty sure that's not what they're going to wind up going with.
Yeah, you never know. A lot of times when people get old, they want to just do stuff for fun.
Well, I mean, you figured that they would have used Peter Cullen and Frank Welker to reprise their roles as Megatron and Optimus Prime, and Peter Cullen did Ironhide too, but they chose to go with lesser known people to save money.
Yeah, I still liked it. I thought it was good.
I just picked up the Zoolander bundle 1 and 2 on Vudu. So yeah, we might go over those movies just for giggles. What do you think?
Yeah,
We'll
sure.
do it on the Four Horsemen. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember liking them. Yeah, the second one, it was interesting. They were going after celebrities, and somebody was going around murdering celebrities. Pretty interesting how that went. Seemed kind of serious for a Zoolander movie.
Yeah, Rowan, it was a shame what happened to Pete, but...
So R says, originally Lucas wanted Wells to voice Darth Vader. He turned it down. Ooh, wow.
Really?
That would have been very interesting. That would have been different.
Oh my God! Did you ever hear the original, the British actor?
Oh, the Scottish guy.
Yeah, I thought he was British. He's Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear his voiceovers for the lines?
Yeah. Tear the ship apart. I want her alive. Yeah, that was great. David Prowse, I think, is who that was.
Yes, David Prowse.
Yeah, supposedly they tried to cancel David Prowse.
They're canceling everybody. They're just getting around to them all.
Yeah. I have been noticing that some of the wackadoodles on the Twitter have been behaving themselves a little bit more than usual.
They've probably been getting suspended. And it probably had to do with Senate hearings to do with social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Equal-sized gauntlet, I guess, for all.
Yeah, or yeah, he did. And you know who else thought his voice was going to be used? Oh God, why am I blanking on his name? The guy who played Darth Maul.
Ray Park?
Yeah, Ray Park.
Yep.
Yeah, Ray Park thought his voice was going to be used too.
I still don't know why they used someone else's voice, because the voice they used sounds a lot like his voice.
Lucas thought it was more of a menacing voice. That, go figure.
That was a real mistake of theirs not to continue with Maul through all three movies.
I know. I think that was a total waste because I thought he was the most interesting character. Well, besides Qui-Gon Jinn, I actually really like Qui-Gon Jinn, and I felt it was a shame that he was taken out so early. I thought it would have been a little bit more interesting if, what happened in the second movie, but it is what it is. I mean, same thing with Jango Fett,
Yeah.
How quickly he was taken out.
Yeah, that was fairly quick.
I like Christopher Lee. I like his acting style. And he's been around for a long time. He's a really good actor. But you know what? I was not really sold on the whole Darth Tyrannus. He came off as too stiff, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I know why they chose him.
Because Lucas was a fanboy, right?
No, why they chose Chris for the part.
Yeah, because Lucas was a Christopher Lee fanboy, right?
That's probably true, but mine are more the fact that I'm a fan of this actor, and I've seen all the Dracula movies that he's done, and they chose him because of his portrayal of Dracula in all those Dracula movies. His stiff bearing, that evil emanating off of him. That's why they chose him.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that
play a Sith Lord.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's where Lucas was a fan of his. Yeah.
So they wanted him to ooze that same kind of evilness that he did when he did Dracula.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he did, but I still think Maul would have been better. Well, that was also Lucas's reasoning for casting Peter Cushing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Cushing. Yep. Definitely a fan. Seen all the Dracula movies that he was in, of course. Yeah, I think Danzig would do Unicrom's voice pretty good. Yeah, I think he'd be real good.
Yeah. They should get, you know who they should get? They should get Doomcock. Doomcock could do the voice.
Yes, you could.
You know what would be actually interesting if they if Disney would actually sell the franchise off to somebody who's going to pay it some respect. That maybe if they went back and they did a story about Qui-Gon in his earlier days, like him teaching, before he became a teacher, when he was still being taught. That, I think, would be an interesting story to be told.
I thought The Mandalorian was going in the right direction because it was setting up the post-Empire world. But now that they're tying into the sequel trilogy, I kind of have lost interest in it.
Hail Doomcock.
Hail Doomcock.
And Harvey. Don't forget Harvey.
Oh yeah, well, Harvey could play Starscream.
Press the button.
Yeah.
Megatron.
Of course, we wouldn't leave Harvey out.
Let me out of my cage.
That's a negative. Yeah.
Oh, you guys think you're real funny, huh? Talking about us over here at Disney? Oh. Oh, burn, mouse, burn.
Yeah, these fucking
how
people.
about all the people that they're laying off? They're still sinking. It kind of reminds me of that song that they played in Greece, like, how low can they go? How low can you go? I want wampum. Wasn't it a Native American coin value? A wampum? It was like a bead or something, or
it's got something to do with native lore. I'm trying to think of.
Now I really want this Doomcock Harvey duo to happen in Transformers.
It's a traditional shell bead of Eastern woodland tribes of Native Americans.
okay, yeah, good, because they used it as like a currency.
Before European contact. Let me see here.
So I'm just curious with the chat there, since we just passed Thanksgiving. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
There's also the Two-Row Wampum Treaty. Is where that probably is. That's a historical event. Also known.
Wes, it would have to be pie. Hair pie. Had to throw the Revenge of the Nerds line in there.
Oh, yep.
Hey,
that's my pie. I actually got that on DVD. I have the Panty edition one. It has all the special features.
Yes, I have that one too. I have 1 and 2. I never got the third one or the fourth one though.
Yeah, I mean the second one was okay, and then the third and fourth one. Wait, there was a fourth one?
Yeah, there was one that was like the beginning or something like that, but there was a wedding one. I think 3 was the wedding, and then 4 was the beginning.
Was 3 the one where Skolnick was a ponytail wearing hipster?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there was a fourth one. Yeah, there was a fourth one that didn't have either. And they recast Lewis with some other actor other than Anthony Edwards.
Yes, yeah, because it was supposed to be like the beginning or something like that, if I remember correctly. They also did the same thing with the Psycho series. Like they had part 1, 2, and 3, and then they had a fourth one that was supposed to be the beginning, like how Norman, he was going through the thing and he told the story of how he got to where he was. So,
Tommy, I
Yeah.
can tell you what exactly wampum means.
Okay.
The meaning is white strings of shell beads, is what that means. It's derived from the Massachusetts and Narragansett word meanings. It's their language, and they're Proto-Algonquin. White strings. They've been discovered dating back before 1510. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I knew
Did not
it
know.
was Native American. I remember that much, So,
I mean that the Algonquin probably has a meaning for that name as well.
Yep. So, let's see. Sweet potatoes, says Parrot Head. Pumpkin pie, says Mikhail Wolf. I like ham. I like ham and mashed potatoes.
what about yams?
Too sweet for me. I like saltier food.
All right, cranberry.
Cranberry? Nope, not a fan. Not by itself, anyway. Some people put cranberry on stuffing, which is weird. But I'll put like cranberry on pumpkin pie with a little bit of whipped cream.
I've actually it's basically, if you're from the East Coast, it's a little different. You basically you get your stuff and your mashed potatoes and all that stuff, and then you have a little side for your cranberry sauce. You use your fork, you grab a little cranberry sauce and then a bite of stuffing, and then you combine them like that. I never actually tried it until I was probably in my late 30s, and it's actually kind of good. So go figure. And some people will put it on top of their stuffing, but that basically ruins your stuffing for anything else you want to mix it with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
and I guess there's a difference between dressing and stuffing.
Yes, I think stuffing is in the bird, dressing is prepared outside of the bird.
Yes.
Well, there's actually a difference in preparation compared to stuffing that you would cook, even if you cooked it in the bird or without. It's different.
Well, I think you're supposed to do something different when you're actually cooking it in the bird to begin with. So,
because my niece cooked it for my sister, and my sister did not like it. She did not like dressing. So the style of stuffing that we put in birds that we're used to is not dressing. It's a little different. It's similar, made similar way, but there's some different ingredients. My mom didn't tell me in detail about it, but
you mean like
oh God, you want to hear a funny one?
What are you gonna say? Hold on. What are you gonna say, Wes?
I was gonna say, you mean like the giblets?
No,
I was just getting ready to go with that, Wes.
No, it's just dressing. It's made differently than your standard stuffing that we know.
So my wife had put me in charge, completely in charge of taking care of the bird like multiple years in a row. So the one year she decided she wanted to do the deep fryer, and I had one of the big butterball deep fryers and everything like that. And I thawed the bird out, but I didn't thaw it out long enough. So the inside of the bird was still frozen when I went to put it in the deep fryer, which is not really going to be a big deal because when the things are frozen, they actually cook better and they cook faster in the deep fryer. But as I was digging everything out of the bird, I missed the giblet package that was in there.
Whoops.
Yo, right in the dead center where the stuffing was that wound up going in there against that. Oh man, it's like it was foul. This is a word to the wise. Make sure you get the giblets out of the bird before you cook it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey, I see you got a little name change there. Ballistic Man Glue.
Yeah, toxic.
What's up, Tox? How you doing, man?
Hey,
So, what's the difference between the dressing that I've heard my mom somewhat try to describe to me? It's a little different. So, dressing is better the day after my mom made it and the day before Thanksgiving. Huh. So there's an obvious difference, and my sister didn't like it because I know she likes stuffing. You know, you can get it in a box, or you can make it yourself the same way. But I've always liked pork stuffing myself, pork flavored stuffing. I don't know what it is; it tastes better.
oh, I made a great stuffing the other day that had a lot of Italian sausage and onions and celery, mixing some chicken broth with I use these biscuits, they had like a kind of a cornbread texture to it. Yeah, it didn't make it to Thanksgiving. That was supposed to be my contribution.
So it has to do with
Ooh,
the way
raisins.
it has to do with the way that the stuffing is actually prepared, Bear, because when you cook stuffing, you're cooking it inside the bird, so it's got to be prepared a little bit differently as something that's going to be like cooked on a pan or something outside of
Right.
it. So the way it's being cooked is going to be different. So
Well,
if
apparently
prepared,
my
it's gonna
niece
be a
knows
little
the
different.
difference, and she can cook it. And is kind of good at some things in the kitchen, baking and stuff like that. She's got a knack for baking, I hear too. My dad did. My dad was actually able to make um, croissants, really good ones.
Oh,
The kind you would spend top dollar at a bakery to get.
the
He
baguettes.
made better ones.
Yeah, so I got invited over a friend's house for Thanksgiving. Otherwise, I would have just been cleaning the house. But my friend Sam invited me over, and she made a few dishes and everything. Like, wow, just amazing stuff that she wound up cooking. And she did some kind of like a mac and cheese thing, but like topped it off with like Parmesan and stuff like that. Really
Yum.
good. Really good. I was like, and I don't eat a lot of stuff like that, but wow, was it good? And then she did some kind of homemade cheesecake. Holy
Oh
crap.
man, cheesecake.
Holy
Oh
crap,
my
was it good.
goodness.
It
Love
was
My
cheesecake.
goodness.
so,
Love cheesecake.
I mean, you know how most cheesecakes are they're kind of like heavy. This one was light and fluffy almost. It was so damn good. So damn good. It was so creamy. It was amazing.
Yeah, I love.
I'm gonna have to talk to her, see if she can make another one. I'd like to bring some home to my aunt and uncle. You know.
Hey, my mom used to make this pineapple cheesecake, and my God, it was just the greatest.
My
It's really good.
my dad used to make this cheesecake from scratch that was like a coffee chocolate cheesecake, and it had like an Oreo cookie crust. All the stuff he did from scratch, and that was man was an amazing cook. And yeah, it was like the best cheesecake ever.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed how on most New York cheesecakes how thick the crust is, and basically what it's made of? Um, and the really good ones that I've had are normally almost about an inch thick on the bottom, and it's a mixture of regular crust mixed with ground graham cracker,
Well, the really
and
good ones,
of
Bear.
course, the sugar and all that stuff.
The really good ones, Bear. They don't really use anything but graham cracker, like pretty much. The really good ones. Yeah, when you get the ones that are like is mostly just all graham cracker for the crust, those are the really good ones because the crust almost crumbles apart when you go to cut into it and take a spoonful or a forkful, I guess,
Right.
depending. Oh,
Yep.
they are fantastic.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
What's up, Kronos?
Hail, Kronos.
Hail, Kronos. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Hey, none of
Toxic.
your business. I seen you there. How you doing?
I hear you, Toxic. I had the same problem before. I had type 2 diabetes until I beat it, and then I really had to watch what I ate. So everything I had to get had to be sugar free for the longest time. I mean, now I can kind of like, since I beat type 2 diabetes, I can get away with having a little bit of it here and there. But yeah, every once in a while, I go right back to the sugar free stuff just to be on the safe side. Don't want to go through that again. Can't feel your feet. Well, you know what? Lose a little weight, and you might be able to reach down and touch them.
Yep.
Bump it, bum.
Yeah, keto. Yep. Keto works wonders for dropping some pounds. Not an easy diet to stick to around this time of year, though.
Oh no, I just asked the wife what pies were left.
Now, you know what? No, it's very possible, and it's very easy actually to eat a lot of good foods that you would normally eat and you like. You just got to be a little more conscious of the ingredients. That's all. There are ways around it.
Yeah.
Like for the longest time when I was on my diet, like I couldn't even touch pizza and everything like that until I started finding like there's certain crusts that you can get out there. They're either made out of cauliflower or they're made out of pure wheat with no sugar or not, no bleached flour or nothing like that. And you could have stuff like that. There's
You're
ways.
over. Kronos says he's over turkeyed.
Hmm.
Did you say you felt like a stuffed turkey? Hey, CJ, how you doing? Hail.
Hail, CJ.
What's going on, CJ? Damn Canadians.
They have a Canadian version of Thanksgiving, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Hey, CJ, when's Thanksgiving in Canada?
They call it
No,
something
it's different.
Like, whoa,
Yeah,
checks.
because October.
Yeah.
And is it called something else? Just curious. Asking for a friend.
Maybe it's called moist giving.
Don't make me Google it, CJ.
Sounds like a moist climate.
Canadian.
Keep 2 meters apart while you're speaking moistly.
Mm.
Oh, shit. I guess they do. I guess it is called Thanksgiving. It is in October. Well, never mind.
That's what I'm laughing at.
Well, Tina, if you can't find the chips or the pretzels in 15 minutes, just call Domino's.
Hey, I can tell you what. Chocolate cake, triple chocolate, heavy on the moist and the icing. Gotta say. There's no other way to have chocolate cake. Serious. I am serious about my chocolate cake when I have it.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be moist.
Yeah.
Did you like those lava cakes?
Those aren't bad. You really have to like a lot of sweet to have one of those.
I'll tell you what.
Normally a
There's
personal one.
Bear, there's a little restaurant down in Fort Myers Beach. Man, the desserts that they make there, including their lava cakes and everything, are just like out of this world. They make an amazing key lime pie there. I have never had a key lime pie that good before. And I love key lime pie, and I've had it in a lot of different places, but holy crap.
Yeah, key lime pie is an art form.
Well, it's just like lemon meringue pie. Like you can get a really good lemon meringue pie that's out of this world, and then you can have other ones that are just like, you know.
Yeah, I'm picky. It's got to be really good, whether it's a key lime or a lemon meringue. Honestly, I'm going to go for the key lime first if it's available. Yeah, making a key lime pie, man, that is a freaking art form. If it's done right, it's just good.
CJ, don't question it.
Yep, just go with it.
Wow, 2K. No shit. Amazing. Aren't you glad we told you don't stop? Keep going. Yeah. Speaking of keep going, let's see here.
Yeah, I need to get monetized so I can become demonetized.
Ixnay and the Bixnay.
Probably get it done in the same day, Wes.
Probably.
All right, little flowers in the park. Flowers in the park, singing of better times. Wish it would rain. Just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Do you ever wish for blue skies after the mist clears? The rain has stopped. Looking for rainbows on the horizon, sunset so clear. Cherry on top of that, flowers in the park. Maybe it will flow in the right direction. Flowers in the park, singing of better days. Wish it would rain, just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Flowers in the park, singing of better times. Wish it would rain, just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Do you ever wish for blue skies after the mist clears? The rain has stopped. Looking forward for rainbows on the horizon. Sun setting so clear, cherry on top of that. Flowers in the park. Yeah, I just seen that, CJ. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. A little bit of bluesiness. 21 years ago, I went on a journey. Went into the west. I met a moon. I jumped back 4 feet. Like a time from long ago, popped into the room. The things from legend that once spoke of. I was wandering this land, I got lost in the desert. And then I found my way, made my escape to the east. Followed a blue moon looking for the story, ducking and diving, just caretake the lore. This is the story of the legendary meeting of the moon. Through time and space, the old man foretold meeting of the bear and the moon at the age of the prophets. 21 years ago, I went on a journey, went into the west.
I met a moon, jumped back 4 feet. Like a time from long ago, popped into the room. Things from legend that once was spoke of. I was wandering the land, got lost in the desert. And then I found my way, made my escape to the east. Followed a blue moon, looking for the story, duck and dive in. Just caretake the lore.
Indeed, indeed. All right. A little bit of wiggle there going on. Yeah. You know what they say? Get a wooden chair if you got to dance. Don't dance alone, you know. That kind of dancing don't require no partner, though. Yeah. What do you think of that new little particle I got there? It's a little theater watching something in the distance. And then I use the that little filter effect that creates it a little bit, makes it look a little neon-like. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. I like it. I found some new particles that I've been throwing in there. And what's really cool is I can take a photograph of basically of an eagle or different birds if I want to use different birds. Like I already had the ravens set out and then already filtered up and already had them. So I used those and I created flying ravens. And I ran across the one with the flying eagle. But you see, I can find images of eagles and then lasso them out and then run them through a filter and then lasso out again and then do the same thing with that. And it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it really does.
But that most recent one, my God, that was hours. That was hours of work. And the other one, the second new one, basically that was 4 days on and off of working on the slideshow, of doing the different filters, different elements in it. That thing had multiple layers upon layers in the video.
CJ, I think you're a bit overly optimistic.
Have hope,
Yeah,
but be leery and keep an eye out. Yeah.
they're tying it into the sequel trilogy, CJ, so, you know, there goes my interest in it. Although they're doing things better, I mean, it's definitely better executed than the sequel trilogy.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it and see what direction they go. I haven't watched the most recent episode yet. I was basically busy because I had, was it like 3 songs that were basically complete, and that was right on top of me finishing one song. And thank you, Kronos, appreciate that. And so there was quite a few songs there, and when I always try to not work on 2 or 3 songs at once, because it's a real pain keeping all that straight, you know. Yeah, I kind of works out that way every now and then, because you know I'll get woke up in the middle of the night. It's like, oh right, I got to start writing something.
Hey, but you know what though, Bear? Sometimes you get, you know, I know I've done it quite a few times when I was working on a project that, like, if you spend so many hours on a single project, you start getting burned out, and you might actually get to a point where you're running out of ideas of what you want to do with it. So it's always good if you have a secondary project to go to a secondary project, and while you're working on a secondary project, you might find, hey, well, I could do something with the first project and then go back to it. Because if you just sit there, because I've done it on a couple of videos myself where I've sat there for like 6-7 hours trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the visual for the video. And
Oh man,
I
you're
would
not
literally,
kidding.
yeah, I would rack my brain trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it. So I would go work on another project. While I'm working on the other project, I got an idea for the first one, then go back to it. This way I didn't get burned out on it. So
Sorry about that.
Dun-dun-ts.
Well,
Yep.
I can give you some. Oh, this is not the one. Let's go back to you. Where'd you go? Oh, yeah, you.
I'm still not sure what to say about the latest episode of Star Trek Discovery. My review is overdue for that. How I usually do it is I'll just because sometimes you'll overthink things. You know, like I used to script things out, and then I would read the script, and then I would try and put everything together in the video, and sometimes I'd be wordy. And through the process of editing it and chopping it down, sometimes it almost won't be what I was wanting to say, but it made the video flow better. So it's just interesting how that works. So I ended up cutting a lot of that process out, and now with them, I just talk through the episode and just chop it up that way.
I don't know, Wes. I think maybe you're just a glutton for punishment.
Hey,
I must
Tommy,
be.
you know how I got this muted so you can we can just talk about the slideshow itself. This slideshow, it took me about 4 days to create it. Because all those, there's a lot of different layers, along with photographs. That's an actual photograph ran through a filter. And the ravens flying. This was cool. I found this on a website where I get my particles from. Power Director's website. This was cool, and it happened right in the right spot. I don't know if you can tell, but there is a pyramid in the background of that photograph. And that's
Yeah,
that was an actual sun that I ran through some filters. A coronal picture, and then I made an orange one, and that's a different one that I copied. This was part of a mass ejection coronal. I pieced it together to make a complete sphere, and I got a couple different color ones that are cutouts. That was good timing. These were the cloud effects, and so I just amped up all the layers in the color levels and the light and dark, and then I did a lasso and lassoed it out to create that. Because I figured out how to get these crisscross effects by layering basically 3 sideways videos and then interlaced spacing in, and it gives it that effect. And I figured out that I could do it and almost make it look like a sphere when it's working. And the lightning bolts in this, that's an actual photograph of a lightning bolt that I lassoed out, and then I jacked up all the colors on it. I got a red one, the blue one, and then the rest, the filter changes it. And it makes it look like it's living in a living thing in the particle when it moves. Kind of cool.
Yeah, this one definitely has a lot going.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on in all the layers. It's the same single layer. If you see the center piece, it's the same when you get down to that center, but it's all crisscross to create that mosaic. And it's the same with this one here. I chose to go this route with this one, and I discovered if I made everything crisscrossed in all the directions, it could create literally a sphere when it does its transitions in the slideshow. This is the one that I don't really like to use because I end up having a 9-minute slideshow. It never adapts itself to the length of the song that you put in there. It did it once, and then it's never done it again.
Interesting.
By the way, the rock legends you just seen are on the other side now. That's the Haight-Ashbury right there. 4 legends right there. That effect is really cool. This is the house where the Grateful Dead lived, the band.
Right.
In their early days, that's where they lived. But yeah, it's David Grisman, John Kahn, Robert Hunter, and Jerry Garcia in that one image that I showed you. They're gone. They're on the other side. It's been a while now.
Hail Mondo Merc. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, Mando, what's up?
What's up, Mondo Mark?
Michael Fossbender is Thrawn. Yeah, I could see it.
Well, I think there's one problem with that. Aren't they going to want to go with a female?
They might. I always thought Michael Fossbender would have made a good Bruce Wayne and Batman too.
Who?
Michael
Who is Bruce
Fossbender.
Wayne?
Michael Fossbender. I always thought he would make a good Batman, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. You see that.
Yep.
Do most people say it Fassbender? Mispronounce it that way?
Is it Fassbender? Have I been saying it wrong?
I don't know. I've heard it said both ways.
Yeah, me too. Fossbender sounded more foreign, so I assumed it was more correct.
More than likely.
Yeah, could be wrong though. Could be wrong.
More than likely.
I'm gonna have to do a Google pronounce and see how that's.
I've always heard everybody pronounce it, and I've heard other people saying, and that doesn't mean it's right. You know what I'm saying? Could be wrong. Cast in the Shadows. Hey, what's up?
Mondo Merc.
How to pronounce names.com.
Yeah, it's very possible. It could be.
So here I got
Fassbender.
Fassbender.
I got an interesting one for you. So one of the things I found today is I found a bunch of old cards, right? Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, AT, you name it, like just a whole bunch of these different type of trading cards. And my buddy Mikey, who's a huge Star Wars fan, he's like, do you have that C-3PO one? And I was like, what's C-3PO one? He's like, oh, you don't know about the one where he's got a dong in it? And I was like, I don't recall. And apparently when they had printed these cards up, they printed one where there was a C-3PO dong on the one card. I did not even know about it.
Wow.
Apparently it's a thing. Yeah, and they had the early cards that got released, they were already out there, but they went back to the original picture and they had to airbrush it all out because it just looked like he had a big giant heart on. It was quite hilarious. Like if you look up the picture, it's pretty funny.
Wow. Imagine if you have something like that, how much that'd be worth? Ooh,
it's worth a lot of money if it happens to wind up being in there. But I didn't go through all the cards, so I just kind of stuck them aside. And that's something to do later when I get home.
Wow. That would be something, as they say.
Yeah, I'm seeing it right here. There's actually a few where they got it really low, but most of these people got it for like $99 or so, $59, $145. There's all kinds of different prices. Yeah, they call it the X-rated error.
Wait, what is it?
It's a C3PO card.
Oh yeah, the one where he looks like he has a giant boner.
Yes,
Hence, dong.
Mhm.
the dong card. Dong, the dong, dong,
The
dong.
dong dong card. Dong.
Yeah, they thought that was done intentionally or something.
No, somebody did do it intentionally. It was done intentionally at first, and that's why they had to airbrush it out and the consequent, the consecutive runs rather.
Perhaps a pissed off employee.
Holy crap, man! I didn't realize how. Jesus. They gave him like the Michelle Obama model.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
If-
CJ put the link to it in the chat.
Yeah, I got the image. If you go to the Four Horsemen chat, you'll see it. Yeah. I just sent the picture from that article.
If I do find that card, I'm going to be laughing my ass off. You know that. I'm going to post it everywhere.
I got a feeling. Got a feeling. I got the hankering feeling.
Yeah,
Of a feeling.
I even found some welcome back Cotter cards in there. I forgot they even made them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he even had stuff like when Empire Strikes Back first came out, like all the fast food restaurants would do they would do like little giveaways and stuff like that. Well, Burger King had this thing where you get this it was like a poster, and you would get the stickers from Burger King from the Happy Meals, and you would put them up on this big poster thing. And yeah, I even found one of those sitting up in the attic. Granted, it wasn't filled out with all the stickers, but even then, I mean, just the fact that the original poster to put all the stickers was still in there and not ripped up to shreds was actually amazing.
That's hilarious.
It is.
Isn't it though?
Mm.
Because basically, if you were to do, a video about this, you would have to right click, inspect element, then delete.
Just put a whole bunch of emojis over it.
It's easy to right click stuff and delete it. It's kind of how when I do an article and stuff, I'll clean all of it up, get rid of all the stuff because I don't want to advertise for nobody.
Boner error trading card.
We shall see. We shall see.
I wonder if Anthony Daniels has one of those hanging out somewhere.
He's probably got it framed.
I would if I were him.
There was some interesting cards that were in the box, though. Some of them were like early concept art.
Really? Of what? Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars, the original concept art cards.
Was he originally supposed to have a boner?
I don't know. Who knows? Probably.
Yeah.
he had a raging clue.
Well, I mean, R2D2 has that little thing that sticks out and plugs into stuff, so kind of would make sense that he would have one.
Yeah, I gotta honestly say, I'm not really interested in what the MCU is doing to Spidey either. Honestly, I haven't really cared too much for it so far.
They're trying to go the Miles Morales route with it.
I mean, Spider Verse movie stuff like that, in its own thing is awesome. But you know, make a Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man movie gonna do that, or it's obviously you make a Spider-Verse movie. It's a Spider-Verse movie. You know what I'm saying? There should be a distinction between the two.
Well, you know what they actually started doing recently is they started like dipping into the other Spider-Man characters that they haven't really used much at all. Like some of the ones that like turned up in games. Like they, I seen the comic because since I've been back up here in Trenton. I actually go to see my old local comic book shop dealer who's still around. He's still running his shop. Surprisingly, I mean he managed to outlast a lot of the other comic book shops that wound up closing down. You know, because he diversified enough with his with the stuff that he has in the store, so he was able to keep himself afloat. But they had like a Spider-Man Noir comics now, and Spider-Man Noir popped up in that one game.
Ah,
The one Spider-Man, it was like a multiverse Spider-Man game where they had Spider-Man 2099, they had Spider-Man Noir, the original Amazing Spider-Man. You know, I think they even had Spider-Ham in that one. But yeah, they got him in his own comic now because they're trying to branch out more. But this is how they killed Spider-Man back in the 80s. They had too many comics, and they wound up like killing the Spider-Man franchise for a long time because they just oversaturated.
Well, breaking news, folks. Apparently, David Prowse has passed away.
David Prowse,
who was in the Darth Vader suit. Yes.
Yeah.
He has
wow.
just passed away today.
There goes the legend.
Yep. 85 years old.
There's not many left from that original film now.
No.
Yep.
I mean, hell, the original guy who played Akbar is gone. Even him, you know.
Yep.
What about the lady that played Mon Mothma? Did she pass though?
What happened to her, Mon Mothma? There is another strong female character, but nobody thought about it. It was just a thing. It was just a good character.
Oh, wait a minute. She didn't really exist. That it was just a figment of our imaginations. Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
That's that selective imaginations, you know? Like selective remembering things.
I selectively remember why I hate Disney every single day.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi is directing Doctor Strange 2, but it's under Disney.
Indeed.
Carolyn Blackiston played Mon Mothma, and apparently she's still alive and kicking at 87 years old.
Nope.
Wow. Wow, indeed.
Yeah, so she would have been close to pushing 50 around then. Well, she didn't look it.
So yeah, have any of you guys out there in the chat have you seen The Magicians? Because I've been watching it, and I gotta say it's pretty good. There's some obvious woke spots that are in it, but other than that, the story is pretty good. And there's a couple different characters who I kind of like. And I swear to God, somebody must have been listening to me or something, because the writers for the script reminds me of Mercedes Lackey, on how Mercedes Lackey can write any character of any persuasion. Yeah, it really reminded me of that.
Yeah, the only show that I caught different since I've been up here is well, it's because my aunt and uncle were watching. It was a show called The Mentalist.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to take place in my hometown of Sacramento.
That was kind of interesting. It was different.
I never got to see the end of that. You know, I got into it for a really long time, and for whatever reason, I thought he was the one that killed his wife. But I guess they didn't go that way with the show.
No, not from what I remember seeing. I seen that they just came out with NCIS again. NCIS again. They just picked up that series recently again.
Yeah. Boy, it's always interesting when you watch a show that's supposed to be set in your hometown and you look for things. Like, first of all, yeah, nobody would put a government building in old Sacramento. That would never happen. But that it kind of looked like old Sacramento. Like they had shots of the Tower Bridge. Yeah, old Sacramento's a tourist trap.
Yeah, the only time I ever seen, well, where I grew up, it was on a episode of Gangland.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hail, Captain Trek. Welcome, my friend.
What's going on? How you doing? Yeah.
Red John was a cop. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Parrot Head. It's not like I was going to go back and watch it, but yeah. I thought he was Red John. I thought Red John didn't exist. I thought that's where they were going with it. I feel like The Mentalist, a few seasons in, kind of lost direction and couldn't figure out what it wanted to be.
They all. I don't know what it is about those police investigative shows. They all tend to lose their way a little bit.
Yeah, CSI did that too.
Yeah.
I was like, how many times have each of these CSI people been captured now? Because it seems like each one of them have been kidnapped at least once. It almost became a trope, It almost became part of the show. Like, oh, one of them got captured again.
All the coast states. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Remember when they had when Hawaii had that emergency alert for a missile launch?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that was really weird.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The fact that they said they were doing a test and something slipped or something, there was a mistake. That stuff can't happen. They just happened to have a news crew at the place at the time.
Yeah, it all seems very, very strange. Yes.
Yeah, it was strange. Very weird. Very weird.
Yeah. Like they weren't testing the system, they were testing something else. The response to the system.
More than likely. More than luckily.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering about the coasts.
Yeah, we'll probably be okay. I mean, heck, you don't hear about Fukushima anymore. Keep eating sushi, folks. Keep eating sushi. All good. Dilution is the solution to pollution. Pacific Ocean, big ocean.
Just stay away from the butthole calamari.
Yeah, definitely stay away from that.
Yeah. Yep. That is what you would call from the pig. Fake calamari.
Yep.
I didn't even know that was a thing until you guys brought it up, and then I looked it up, and it was true.
I've never looked it up, but I knew fake calamari was a thing. I just never knew what it was made of.
Yeah, big anus. That's good stuff right there.
No, they just need to fix the problem. And it's basically it's like Chernobyl, maybe worse.
Oh, I think worse.
What we got here? You know what? Thousands of meat cold over the pink elephant. I'm sorry. I don't know what to frickin' make of that. Last I checked, there isn't there like animal human barrier where they don't pass between each other.
Most
I've
of
always
the time. Most of the time, yeah. It's not transferable most of the time, but there are those rare exceptions.
Rare exceptions where it gets out of a lab. Oh wait.
yeah.
I mean, goes from a bat. It gets out of a bat. That's what I meant. Freudian slip.
Or the tab in a window, peel the tab off. Or the browser tab. There we go. Yeah. Craziness. The world is just a crazy place right now.
That's for sure. Interesting to be alive to see it all.
Yes, Kronos. Pig. Yeah, fake calamari.
Think chitlins, but calamari.
Yeah.
Chitlins is an intestine. That's a bit a little ways off from the rest of that.
You could say that's a stretch.
That's right. Yeah, it is.
Get it?
Is a stretch.
Stretch. It stretches.
Wrong hole, fool.
It goes there, right?
My lord.
Oh, yeah. Funny.
I do have a conspiracy theory about where chicken nuggets come from.
The chicken nugget bunny?
No, so here's my theory. So you know how they have those large places, those large commercial chicken factories?
Yeah.
And a lot of those chickens will just wind up dead and nobody knows how. I think they do a sweep of it every few hours, and the ones that are recently deceased are the ones they make into nuggets. Like, it hasn't been dead too long. Quick.
Well, 90% of the time, actually, with the stuff that they make nuggets out of is what's left over after they make the prime cuts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The way it used to be done is it was just ground up portions of what was left over from the chicken.
Then they fuse it together.
Yep. I mean, but there's been, there was such an outcry over a lot of places that were doing that. That's why, if you remember, like the old chicken nuggets from McDonald's and stuff like that, it wasn't really so much like chicken as it was like a chicken paste.
Mm-hmm.
And then so many people complained about it, and they started using more like real chicken in there. And the same thing with like Burger King and some of those other places. Yeah, it was like a paste that they were using.
Yeah, the pink slime.
Yeah, that's goo. Yeah. Freaking shit they put in food. Yeah.
If most people knew all the stuff that they put in food and what's allowable when it's being processed, most people probably would never eat again.
That's why
Probably
I try to
not.
make it. I try to make as much stuff that I eat homemade, as much as possible.
Same. Meal prep.
Yep.
Yeah, hot sauce helps. It does help. Hot sauce pretty much helps everything.
Yeah. Hot sauce is good. You know, when you're cooking spaghetti sauce, a very, very light sprinkle of cayenne pepper, and I'm talking light. You don't want a lot. You want just enough to where it brings out the tang of the tomato.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
And it's got to be cayenne pepper though, because it's something about it, and it brings out a certain tanginess in there, and it tastes good. Can't really tell it's got cayenne pepper in it because it's not really your goal. It does bring out the tanginess.
Yeah, it really does. Cayenne, a little bit will go a long way for sure. Yeah, ask Kill the Beast about hot sauce. Well, she keeps it in her purse, RR. She's one of the people.
Yeah, that'd be.
I actually live in a community that has, it's that's heavy on ag. I could probably get really fresh meat pretty easily here.
I don't know,
should do that.
CJ, I could picture you like working a little farm out there. I could see it.
Oh, really?
Farmer CJ.
Farmer CJ.
Doesn't it get cold there?
Speaking of hot sauce, I'm working on getting a hot sauce maker to sponsor my podcast. That's awesome.
Awesome, dude.
JR's hot sauce. God, the one thing I could never stand though is any of those the hot sauces that were Jesus, like Tabasco type stuff.
Mm-hmm. The vinegary ones.
Yeah. Oh man, those things would always tear my stomach up. I couldn't tolerate them.
I think Parrot Head meant Jack Daniels. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Parrot Head probably meant Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty sure he didn't. But there was always the possible chance he meant Jack Cheese.
Yeah, I think he was talking about Jack Daniels.
But I'm pretty sure it's Jack Daniels.
Yep.
Yeah, Jack Daniels, they used to make a really good barbecue sauce. I don't even know if it's around anymore because the last time I was checking my grocery stores, they did not have it anymore.
I think you can find it here and there.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've heard parrots can live a really long time, like 80 years.
Wow.
Oh, wait, is it 80 years? How long do parrots live? A lot of times people have to have provisions in their wills for their parrots because so long lived. A kakapo lives 95 years. Hyacinth macaw, 50 years.
Oh, you know what? That's the way it should be. If you can't stand behind whatever you're promoting, why would you promote it to begin with? I never understood that.
Which one of the parrots, if pissed off enough, can bite your finger off? That's what I want to know about.
Yeah. I had a client that had a parrot, and it was funny because the parrot would land on her shoulder or land nearby and just like hang out right next to her and just like, oh, she's like, you can say hello to it. And I was like, no, I'm worried it's going to peck my eye out. And she's like, why does everybody say that? Apparently. And then I felt normal because I wasn't the only one.
That's funny.
I don't know. I see a giant beak and this thing looking at me, it seemed nice. I don't want to be judgmental or anything, but you
spent a lot of your formative years watching Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, parrots are cool. I mean, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I have seen some very annoying parrots. I can't remember what part of the parrot family they were in. But I knew this friend of mine where she lived. This guy had, I think, 3 or 4. And man, they were just loud all the time.
Probably a macaw.
Yeah. What colors are they?
They're usually, I think they're like blue and stuff like that.
I don't think they were blue, but they were freaking loud. My God. They're about a foot tall. A little less than a foot tall.
Yeah, I think the only pet that I can really have would be like an outdoor stray cat that I just feed occasionally. Because I tend to be pretty bad about remembering to feed animals, so that's not good.
No, actually, they come in a few different colors. There's a blue and yellow, a scarlet one that's like red and blue. Then there's green and yellow. There's a bunch of different colors for the macaws.
So what did Edward Norton say that was woke?
Oh, you know what the script is, Bear? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you know, I mean, they're sitting there dumping money into certain states trying to make outcomes happen.
Yeah. They sold too many picture show tickets for the movie, and they realized people stacked to the rafters, you know, because the picture show was oversold, and only so many people fit in the picture show. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to happen a lot. I wonder how so many tickets were made when there's only so many seats.
Well, you know, man, there's the gremlin in the back room, and with that Ditto roller magic machine, rolling them out. You know.
Oh, so they have a printing press.
Well, here's a question: how's Norton not already got himself canceled? You know, because he played a neo-Nazi in a movie.
Really? When was this?
Yeah, it was American History X. Yeah, it's actually a great movie.
Oh yeah, been a while since I watched that.
Hey, wait, isn't the guy that plays Cisco the principal in that?
God, I don't recall the principal.
Let me see. Look up the filmography. It might have been Rock.
What's up, Keely Chow? How you doing?
Keely Chow.
Hail.
That was a great movie. Cast. Oops, how'd that happen?
What happened?
Oh, I clicked something. Yep, yeah, he did. Cisco played the principal. Yeah, Avery Brooks.
Avery Brooks. From Deep Space Nine, right?
Yep, and they also had the girl that played Kess in that movie. Yeah, she played the girlfriend. I forgot about that.
Oh, wow. Wild.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of weird things. It's like, did you notice with Chrome or YouTube was forcing the page to go from light mode to dark mode?
Huh, it hasn't been happening with me.
And so I basically reset my Chrome browser. I didn't delete any of the important stuff for background use, but I just did a basic reset to it and removed the plugins, and it was still going to dark mode. And so they fixed it. It's not doing it no more. but for a couple days, the YouTube homepage was basically forcing you into dark mode. It would switch back every time you'd refresh the page. Then you have to go back and re-click light mode. Because dark mode on YouTube just don't make sense to me because I've never really used dark mode too much. So nothing looks right.
CJ, that whole thing where they were trying to do his alternate reality, how he became the Hulk with his dad experimenting on him, was just trash. It was absolute trash.
They changed the storyline in the animation.
When they did the one movie, I forget which one it was, but yeah, they was like getting injected by his father.
That was the Eric Bana one, wasn't it?
The Flash?
Yeah. No, the Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
That was so horrible.
So yeah, with
The
CJ.
original story was an accident. You know, it was an accident with the gamma radiation burst. There was no injections. There was nothing like that in the original comics.
No.
Well, you remember the 70s Hulk show with
Fringo.
Yeah, that was great.
Interesting. MCU would never go dark like that, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know about the comics.
Well,
So they're getting rid of Flash animation in December, so that they go into that new HTML5 or whatever it is. I don't see what the problem with Flash is. Flash has been used for years.
well, they use something completely different now.
Yeah.
Chrome doesn't use Flash anymore. There's very few stuff that uses Flash on a website. Because Flash on the browser is disabled.
Yeah, even like some of the mobile games stopped. They stopped using Flash as well.
Because there's a critical flaw in the writing of it, and basically it's considered vulnerable. What that is, I have no idea because I'm not a code writer.
Yeah, I don't know either. maybe the ticket machines to the movie are still using Flash, and that's the problem. That's why they're selling more tickets than seats.
Correct, my Borgified guinea pig friend. The original was a gamma radiation bomb experiment gone awry, an accident. You know what? I remember a comic that happened that way, but it was with what was it, Rick? That was Friends.
Yeah, well, they also did
David
that
Banner?
for the they did that for the cartoon series as well. That
Because
he went out to save them.
I think I have that comic in storage where the bomb went off, and was it the character Rick that became like Bruce Banner?
No, he was just a friend. I think at one point Rick actually wound up getting the power of the Hulk, if I remember correctly. But it's been so long.
Well, the comic, he had the power of the Hulk in that explosion. That was the storyline. He became exposed by the bomb. I remember that was part of the story. I think I have that comic. I can't remember the full name of it either. It's been since I was probably little since I read that.
Oh God, I had some of the early ones with the Gray Hulk. Those were actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the Hulk was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid, and Spider-Man. Over Superman in some cases, you know. Yeah, Rick Jones.
Season.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that comic since long time. They're put up somewhere in the storage. It was either from when did McFarlane start? Was it in '79 that he started? '78 maybe.
I forget offhand. Because I mean, he was doing stuff with Marvel obviously before he went on to do his own stuff with Spawn, and Spawn was like mid '80s, mid to late '80s.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a big deal, right? A lot of those comic book guys that were working for the big companies, they weren't given the creative freedom that they wanted to have, and so they went off and did their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Spawn came from.
Yeah, I mean, McFarlane, not that he didn't have a name when he was working at Marvel, but he really became a household name once he started doing his own stuff.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane.
Mikhail Wolf, have a good night.
Good night, Mikhail
Yeah,
Wolf.
have a good one, Mikhail. Have a good one.
I haven't seen the Spawn comic book, but I did see the movie, and I liked it.
I hated that movie. Hated it. If you wanted like a true representation of what Spawn was like in the comic books, the HBO series is the way to go. They had an animated HBO series for Spawn. That was done very well.
Yeah,
I think
Todd
I've seen that.
McFarlane's first years in Incredible Hulk is '87 to '88. It had to have been before McFarlane.
I think I've caught.
No. Wait a minute. They've got different stuff. Well, he was with them from '88 to '90 for Amazing Spider-Man.
Spawn started in '92. I thought it was like late '80s. Maybe it was '92.
I think I caught that HBO cartoon. It had a big long storyline about a senator, and the senator's son is like an ice cream truck driver and a perv.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that. Boy, it was really dark shit. Yeah, I could see why that would be. I do remember enjoying the cartoon more. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good series. Really good series.
Yeah, they went really deep into a lot of the stuff that, we talk about here.
I think it was HBO that also did Street Fighter 2. They had a Street Fighter 2 series, and that was done really well. That very well done. 10 times better than that shitty ass one with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Oh God, that thing was a train wreck.
Yeah, it was not good. I usually don't like movies that were made from video games. It just doesn't translate well.
Like Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that was not good.
Okay, let's see here. Well, I found a somewhat complicated site where you can order old comic books. I believe it's called mycomicshop.com.
Yeah, there was a few of them, and I found a couple that actually they specialize in like the old comic books, but I cannot remember which one I found, but they had really good prices. But then again, after finding all my old comic book finds that my dad managed to salvage, apparently, I've got plenty to go through. I seen some old spawns in there, like the Indiana Jones, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, like all kinds of the old comic books.
Okay.
What about board game movies like Battleship?
Man.
I never even seen it. I never even wanted to see it.
Clue was good. I liked Clue.
Yeah, Clue
Actually-
was hilarious.
Battleship wasn't that bad, actually. It wasn't that bad. It was decent.
Well, the casting Tim Curry and Clue, that was a stroke of genius right there. That was because, you know, of his Frankfurter role, having him be in this big mansion during a storm, it just made a lot of sense. Wow, CG, I'm looking at that origin story. Some dark stuff, man,
Well, which character?
for Hulk.
Yeah, it is. See, what I eventually, you know what I wouldn't mind getting? I wouldn't mind getting, you know how they have all the comics series will be in a book? I want to get one of those. I know they're out there. You can get them. It's basically all the comics published. All right. How about a couple more songs and then we'll call it good, fellas. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, man.
All right. All right. Now let's see if the sound is still connected.
Yep.
I was walking through a rock and roll wasteland, looking for reverence, looking for spirit. We took the step, we made our way out of the desert, landed by the oak tree, lighter than air, can you see? Spinning like a top, just couldn't stop. Leave your troubles at the door, get your dance on the floor. We can soar, follow the beat, let it move your feet. Don't want no politic like ticks on hounds. Grounds for the door, sing it loud, pour treats for all. I was walking through a rock and roll wasteland, looking for reverence, looking for spirit. We took the step, we made our way out of the desert, landed by the oak tree. Lighter than air, can you see? Spin like top, just couldn't see. Leave your troubles at the door, get your dance on the floor. We can soar, follow the beat, let it move your feet. Don't want no politic like ticks on hounds. Grounds for the door, sing it loud, pour drinks for all. I was walking through a rock and roll wasteland, looking for reverence, looking for spirit. We took the step, we made our way out of the desert, planted by the oak tree, lighter than air, can you see? Spinning like a top, just couldn't stop. Leave your troubles at the door, get your dance on the floor. We can soar. Follow the beat. Let it move your feet. Don't want no politic like ticks on hounds. Rounds for the door, sing it loud, more drinks for all. I was walking through a rock and roll wasteland, looking for reverence, looking for spirit. We took the step, made my way out of the desert, landed by the oak tree, lighter than air. Can you see? Spinning like a top, just couldn't stop. Leave your troubles at the door, get your dance on the floor. We can soar, follow the beat, let it move your feet. Don't want no politic like ticks on hounds. Grounds for the door, sing it loud, or drinks for all. I was walking through rock and roll wasteland.
Like that little sunset effect. That was cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Words from the wise old wizard, friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Truth to power, fearful of the shadow, renters of delusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth? The ship has sailed. Record playing like a broken record, using too much power, never leads to truth. The grand old show, the reckoning realities of majesty, the ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Truth to power, fearful of the shadow, branches of delusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth. The ship has sailed. Records playing like a broken record, using too much power, never leads to truth. The grand old show, reckoning realities of majesty, the ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, friends till the end. True intentions in their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, are friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Truth to power, fearful of the shadows, ranchers of delusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth. The ship has sailed. Record playing like a broken record, using too much power, never leads to truth. The grand old show, reckoning realities of majesty, the ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, the friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. True, the power, fearful of the shadow, dangers of delusions. The fuses are blown. Why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth? The ship has sailed. The ship has sailed.
There's a playlist in the chat. There's 30 songs in there that I have sung. All right, I'm gonna pause this real quick. You guys tell them about your current projects, and of course, we're gonna start at the nibbling level. You know the nibbling level.
Yeah. Huh. Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Tommy in the Getting Pig Collective. You can find me over my channel, Nibbling Off Toes. Nibble. Week. Currently, I'm still sitting here cleaning out my dad's house, and like I'm posting videos on some of the finds that I'm making, and some of them are like, they're even shocking you for me to actually relive some of these old franchises and toys that I used to have as a kid, and then some of the stuff that my dad just randomly collected. But yeah, you could stop by. You can see what I'm digging up next. Next video should be sometime next week, and there should be some interesting finds that I'm going to be having in there. And remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't watch, what you should or shouldn't say, because your silence gives consent. Bear, thanks for having me on. Wes, it's always a pleasure talking with you. Well, and it's always a pleasure to see all the wonderful people that are in the chat. RR, Parahead, Kronos, Mando Merc, and his sidekick, Cast in the Shadows, Keely Chow, and everybody else that has stopped through. I mean, I would name you all, but I don't think I could scroll up that far. But thank you so much for coming out. You guys, as Wes would say, are the best people in the chat on YouTube.
And how? Awesome. Indeed.
Have to concur. So, yes, I am Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast. You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast. I talk about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, gaming streams, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it is my webcast. I also have a Patreon. You can find me at patreon.com/Wes Moody Webcast. Pretty much nothing is behind a paywall there. There's some stuff, but we do fun stuff like watch parties that we can't do on YouTube due to copyright content and that kind of stuff. So hope to see you there, my friends. Thank you. You are the best chat on YouTube. Good night.
And trekking on Tuesdays.
Yes, trekking on Tuesdays, whatever Wednesdays, 8:05 Pacific Standard Time or Daylight Time or whatever it is we're on now.
Yeah, and you know that cringe-worthy watch party, man. That was kind of fun, I guess.
Misery loves company, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was rough. Boy, indeed. I still need to do a video on that. I don't want to relive that.
You just need to take the board and the hammer to your legs after that.
Yeah, it'd be like Misery.
Yeah. Yeah, those of you that show up in the chat, especially those of you that mod for me, that are always there for me, I really appreciate you guys. It wouldn't be a thing without you. It's less fun, and I appreciate the mods, what they do for me out there. It's awesome. RR, you're always there, man. You're always there. Gotta say, appreciate you, all of you.
Absolutely.
And with that, we will. You guys got 2 more songs in you?
I'm not sure.
This one's 2 minutes and 39 seconds. And let's see, what's the next one? Echo Chamber. Yeah, we could do a switch up. All right. 2 minute 40 and 2 minute 10 second. What do you think? Okay.
Yeah, I think I can hang.
All right. And you should probably drink the rest of that shot of whiskey you got there. I'm instigating a whiskey drinking. All right. do, don't you?
Nope, not tonight.
There's a train chugging into town, over mountain, hill, and dale. Carries enlightened, moves through time. Notions and potions, collecting stories wherever they may be. Waiting on the story man, he's coming to town. You know we're gonna get down. We're not clowning, chugging into town. There's a train chugging into town, over mountain, hill, and dale. Carriers enlightened, moves through time, oceans and potions, collecting stories wherever they may be. Waiting on the story man, he's coming to town. You know we're gonna get down. We're not clowning, chugging into town. There's a train chugging into town, over mountain, hill, and dale. Carries enlightened, moves through time. Notions and potions, collecting stories wherever they may be. Waiting on the story man, he's coming to town. You know to get down. We're not clowning, chugging into town. There's a train chugging into town, over mountain, hill, and dale.
One more after that, we'll say goodnight.
It's 11th hour, there's energy building. It's 11th hour, the energy is building. Yes, it's on its way. Walking silence is golden. It's so loud. Raise your head, look up to the sky, how we're meant to fly. The fingers pointing, maybe pointing back. There's this feeling growing. The payments due, we all know someone will have to pay. It's the 11th hour. It's 11th hour, there's an energy building. Yes, it's on its way.
And there's 11 watching.
Silence is golden, it's so loud. Raise your voice, raise your head. Look to the sky, are we meant to fly? There's fingers pointing, maybe pointing back. There's a feeling growing, the payments due. We all know someone will have to pay. It's the 11th hour. It's 11th hour, there's an energy building. Yes, it's on its way. Walk in silence, silence is golden. It's so loud. Raise your head, look to the sky. Are we meant to fly? There's fingers pointing, maybe pointing back. There's this feeling growing. The payments due. We all know someone will have to pay. It's the 11th hour. It's 11th hour. There's an energy building. Yes, it's on its way. Walking silence, silence is golden. It's so loud. Raise your head and look to the sky. It's 11th hour. There's an energy building. Yes, it's on its way.
Good night.